Hey everybody, it's your old pal Yoshi here. I got a update to the 1 bar MagPlar build that I've been working with. Uh, the other day when I was playing, one thing I thought of is, boy, I run out of magicka really quick. I'm putting out a lot of damage, but at the same point, I'd like to be able to sustain that damage. So I was thinking to myself, Yoshi, because that's what I call myself, what is it I could do to make this build more sustainable and not lose too much damage? So this is where I did a little bit of theory crafting here to see what would improve upon things, and I actually believe I've come across the build that works. So what I want to do is give you an idea of first how this build is done. So we'll start with the attributes. What I did was I decided I wanted to have a good amount of magicka and a good amount of health. So I pretty much split it in half, 34 magicka, 30 health. I felt that was good. I also made sure that I still have my boon as the Mundustone, the Thief. The reason for that is because I want this to still be a crit build. I use the crit for damage. I use the crit for healing. It's a big part of this build. So, going away from the attributes, next thing we have to look at is the gear. I have changed the gear very little from the last time. The necklaces and rings are all Mother Sorrow. Reason being is it's a good push on the magicka, and it's a heck of a push on the spell critical. So that's where I get a lot of my damage from. And if you'll notice that the necklace and the ring are still blue, so if I get a purple version of those, I will be upping the power of this build even a little bit more. As far as weapon goes, I'm just using a lightning staff for the Mother Sorrow. Again, the only not really special, except for this is absorb magicka on here, and this is how I get some of my magicka back. It's also infused, so that also makes the enchantment happen more often, and it's cheaper. I'm sorry, the cooldown is less. My bad. Also notice I also have magicka recovery on the necklace, the rings. Again, trying to get more magicka coming back into the build so that I don't run out. Everything else is just a mixture of Julianos and Sorrow. The big thing to keep in mind is every piece should have magicka and divines on them. And I've held to that all the way through except for the helm. I haven't found a heavy helm yet that has magicka on it. I've only found that has divines. I could actually probably I could probably do that, fix that myself. But again, I want to make sure that anytime I'm giving a build to you guys, that these things are simple things that you could go out to the store and buy whatever you need. You don't have to languish yourself for years in dungeons getting the best in slot items. These are the it will do items. This build will be able to you'll be able to do public dungeons, and you'll be able to do low level dungeons, the normal ones, such as Spindle Clutch, City of Ash, Banished Cells, stuff like that. So, nothing really special about the armor. It's all light except for I have 2 heavy items, the helm and the cuirass. To be honest, any 2 of the armor items could be heavy. Doesn't matter which. Whatever works for you. Everybody else seems to want to do their build and say, well, it must be the helmet. And it's like, well, it makes no difference. It just truly doesn't. It really doesn't. It's whatever you want, just do it how you want. So I have all that going for me then. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the staff counts as 2 items. So because I have a staff of Mother Sorrow, that counts as 2 Mother Sorrow items. I only need 3 other Mother Sorrow items, and guess what? 1, 2, 3. There they are. The rest of them I can just do Julianos. I mixed it up just because I can. All right. But again, make sure that you have a full set of Giuliano and a full set of Mother's Sorrow. That way you get the full spell crit and you get the maximum magicka. So, what do we care to discuss next? Skills, of course, because we're going to be, using skills on this build. So we'll go to K here. And what my build is, again, it's 1 bar. I'm going to show you. Whoop. All right. I'm going to take everything off the second bar. It does not exist. It's not needed. Gone, 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 gone. Nothing. No second bar. And if I go to I here, I have no weapon on the second side, or the second bar either. Okay? Just so we're clear. This is a 1 bar build. So, what I'm starting with here is Blazing Spear, which is area effect and damage over time. And I can actually throw it onto the enemy. I don't have to be right on top of them to hit them with it. So I can run up on them and throw it on them. While I'm running towards them, I'm also hitting Channeled Focus. Channeled Focus is going to give me magic recovery, physical resistance, and spell resistance. All for one little spell that costs almost nothing, 929 magicka. You can't beat that. It's a deal. And this is going to help replenish my magicka. That's the biggest reason I have it. 240 magicka every second. That's huge. Blockade of Storms, another area of effect. Damage over time. This one you have to be up close, sort of, to use, though. You got to be run up to them and drop it on them. And it does have a cost, 2787 magicka. It's not free. But considering the fact that it lasts for a good 8 seconds, it's not such a bad deal. Finally, just to add some more damage, I have Puncturing Sweep, which is area effect. It affects several enemies in front of you. And it does really decent damage. But the really, really, really good thing about it is it heals you for 40% of the damage done. This is how you keep healthy. This is how you keep alive, folks. You just jab, 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 jab. Is it cheap? Yes. Does it work? Yes. So I do it. I'm not going to apologize. All right. Next one is Radiant Aura. Radiant Aura, again, magic recovery. It also helps with health recovery and stamina recovery. Increases those by 10%. And that's a pretty nice bonus. Also, you're going to restore 300 magicka every second. So between Radiant Aura and Channeled Focus, you're not going to run out of magicka. It's not going to happen. It's just not. So that's what makes this build ideal. This is one of those builds that you will never run out of magicka. The final thing is the ultimate, Thunderous Rage. I like throwing this on the bosses, or if it's a really big fight and I just want to get it over quick, I'll throw it out for that. There are better ultimates. I just happen to prefer Thunderous Rage. It fits into my game style because it's a throw it and forget it thing. I just have to keep everybody in the circle around me and everything takes damage. But realistically, if you were fighting a one-on-one with a boss, there are better things you could use. I won't deny it. So, having that been said, let's look at the different classes here and see what you should have for your passives. Adric Spear, take them all. There's no really bad thing here. All these are going to help you in one way or another. Dawn's Wrath, I'm not using anything from there. Restoring Light. This is a case of where all the passives are good. As a matter of fact, I just noticed that I'm not using them all. A couple more things in here. Make the build even better. Ooh. Again, it really doesn't hurt to have any of these, because even if you're doing this as a single bar build, the only thing that you're using this part for is the Channeled Focus and the Radiant Aura, which I believe all these will benefit from that, as I remember. Alright. Weapon. Destruction Staff. That's all we got. One weapon, right? Take all the bonuses. Again, all the passives are good. Light armor. You got plenty of it on you. You're wearing nothing but, well, I shouldn't say nothing, but you're wearing 5 light, so you can take advantage of all the light armor passives. You're also wearing 2 heavies, so if you go into heavy armor, I recommend Resolve, Constitution, and Juggernaut. You can get a benefit a little bit from each of those. Not a huge benefit, but enough that it's worth it. The other 2, you need 5 or more pieces of heavy. Why bother spending points on them? Going into the world items, Soul Magic, I recommend highly going through with your character through the whole quest, the main quest. Because if you do so, you will unlock both levels of soul summons, which will give you 1 free revive every hour without spending a soul gem. That's worth it. And you have a 10% chance of automatically filling an empty soul gem every time you kill something. So you don't have to kill too many things to fill up a soul gem. It's actually a really, really, really good deal. You'll see I have Vampire on here. I don't use it. It literally does me no good because I keep myself at level 1 Vampire. There are no benefits for me. But if you decide you want to play as a Vampire, and if you get these passive abilities, you can have, as you go up to stage 2 or higher, you can increase your magicka and stamina recovery, which for this build you wouldn't need. You could also make other people vampires, which is why I'm a vampire. I charge to make other people vampires. That's pretty sick. And then if I go up all the way, then I'm going to hit a point where if my health goes below 50%, then it'll reduce my damage taken by 33%. But again, I'm not at Vampire Stage 4. I'm at 1. I'm not getting any benefit from this. So don't count that in this build. Guilds. Dark Brotherhood. Does nothing for me except for if I want to sneak up somebody and kill them. Yeah, I can. But it's really not much good in a dungeon. Fighters Guild. I have Intimidating Presence. That's for running through the quests, because sometimes it's beneficial. Slayer. It gives you a benefit, increases your... Oh, I'm sorry, Slayer does nothing for you. Not in this build. Not in this build. Banish the Wicked does. You generate 9 ultimate when you kill an undead, Daedra, or werewolf. That is regardless of whether you have a Fighter Guild's item slotted or not. So Banish the Wicked, I do recommend. The rest of these, no. I had them set up for a previous build, but you do not need those. Mages Guild, Persuasive Will, again for quests. The rest of it, don't need it. Psijic Order, again, everything you have here, it only benefits you if you're using a Psijic Order, power or skill, whatever you want to call it. And the fact is, I'm not. So I'm not getting any benefits. So I don't have any of this passive. Thieves, I didn't bother. Undaunted, again, this isn't going to benefit you too much. Maybe a little, but very little. So don't worry about that. Racial. This build that I have is a high elf. And as a high elf, all of these are beneficial to this build. Increase in experience. Let's see. Spell recharge. You can activate a class ability. Restores 640 magic or stamina. Increase max magicka. Increase spell damage. All the way around. Good stuff. All right. So that is looking at the skills that I have. Next thing I want to go over is the champion points, because we never can have enough of those. And let's take a sneak peek at them. And if I go into here, and I'll start right here at the tower. I've switched these over and over again as I change this build, and I always try to make sure that my champion build points are taking advantage of what my build does. So this will look a little weird to some people because they'll be like, why are you doing that? But when you look at this build, it will make sense. So reduce the cost of break free. That's never a bad thing. If you're being held down by the baddies and you need to break 3, this is going to help you. Arcanist. Increase your max magicka recovery. That's what we're talking about. We want to keep getting that magic coming back. Health, it increases the health recovery. We want to get, we want to keep alive also. This is a sustain build. The idea of this build is to stay alive. Tenacity, I have nothing, and people are going to fry me for that because they're going to say, well, why don't you have tenacity? Well, what are you going to use fully charged to heavy attack for? To get back magicka. Guess what? You don't need to with this build. Tenacity is useless for this build. For other builds, absolutely. For this one, no. Tumbling. People like to use roll dodge to get out of trouble, especially when you're running trials. Highly recommend it. Shadow ward, blocking. That's also a lot of what you do in Dungeons and Trials. Again, highly recommend it. Going in the next one, the Apprentice. Elfborn increases your critical damage and critical healing. This is a crit build, so increasing your crit is good, very good. So I definitely have some in Elfborn. I have 60 in Elfborn. And I'm sorry, I should go back here and show you the numbers I put in, if I forgot to say that. I have 42 in Warlord under the tower. I have 64 in Arcanist and 64 in Healthy on the lever. I have 50 in Tumbling and 50 in Shadow Ward for the Shadow. So coming back to here now, 60 in Elfborn, again, increased critical damage, critical healing. Spell Erosion, 60, increases spell penetration. You need to get through whatever shield an enemy has to be able to hurt them. So this is a big plus. Also 60 for Elemental Expert. We're going to be throwing out a lot of lightning, so we want to make sure that we have that available to us. We also have some fire damage going on as well. So again, we benefit from both sides of that equation. Staff Expert increases damage done with light and heavy attacks. No, we're not going to use heavy attacks, but we are going to use a lot of light ones. So I put 30 in there. Some people put some in Master at Arms. We're really not going to be doing direct damage on this build. It's just really not that much of it. So I didn't put anything in there. I'm more worried about the dots doing damage because the dots are going to be down all the time. Thaumaturge, or Thaumaturge, however you want to say it. This is your damage over time. I set that to 60. Let's go in the next one, the Steed. Ironclad, 40, reduces damage against direct to damage attacks. And then Spell Shield reduces damage against, is your spell resistance, reduces damage against spells. So there's the two biggest ways you get hurt in this game. Good to defend. Light Armor increases your physical resistance. I set that to 40. And you have to be wearing 5 pieces of light to make that work. Hardy reduces damage taken from physical poison and disease. As that is a lot of the mechanics in the dungeons. Not a bad idea. Thick Skin reduces damage over time because there are enemies that use dots on you too. So that's another 40 there. Looking at the Lord, I have Quick Recovery 30, which is going to increase the healing that I receive. So, again, trying to keep myself alive. So let's exit out of here. And let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about here before I get into playing. No, that's it. So, the dungeon I've picked for this is Vaults of Madness, normal. And there's a reason I picked this one. This dungeon can be difficult for some people to do solo, especially if you're sitting at 15,000 health, which I am. Now, if I were a veteran player, and I'm not going to claim I am, I've played this game for a whole year, but I played a year as player versus environment. I did not go into anything tougher than a delve. I woke up a year later and decided public dungeons would be cool. And then when I figured out how to build a player that could survive those, I said, can I go a little further and go into the normal dungeons? That's where this player character came from. This is about my want to be quote unquote elite without being elite. Some of the things I don't do that an elite person would do is they would definitely have 2 bars full of stuff. They would definitely be using potions and food to buff themselves up before going into a dungeon like this. they would be doing all the right things to be elite, having the items that are best in slot. This is a casual player build. This will allow little guys like me to play alongside the big guys. Okay? This is not going to allow you to finish vet dungeons on your own unless you're a very elite player. Then maybe you could. So I want you to notice that down in the bottom right corner, I have not taken any food in, potions, or anything else. This is the build as is. 15,000 health, 25,000 magicka. Now, if I were to take and eat a fortifying meal, I can boost my health, I can boost my magicka, and boost my stamina for 2 hours. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go with what we have. So let's go in and let's go beat up on some things. I arrive here and I got to wait for a little bit. I'm not a patient person, so I'm just going to run back here for a moment, go into here, look around. And by the time I come back, that door should be open. Or at least close to it. Alright, you can open the door? There we go. Alright, so let's go beat up stuff. So, first I'll just do the rotation and then I will explain it as I'm running through it. Boom. Now, if you noticed, I killed all those things. My magicka is still at 100%. It only went down for brief moments. And here's the rotation, just so you can see it. I'm going to do it slow. First I hit number 1 for the blazing spears. And then I hit a light attack. And I'm going to hit another one. So, 1, left mouse button, left mouse button. Now let's add another step. Let's go hit the channeled focus. So 1, left mouse button, 2, left mouse button. So now at that point, I have the blazing spears down, and I have the channeled focus. Now we're going to add on to this the wall. I forgot the name of the darn thing. Blockade of storms. So 1 da 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 da. Boom. Went through 3 items. Magic went down a little bit, came right back up. Now I'm going to add a blazing spear onto this. I'm sorry. I'm going to add puncturing sweeps onto that. 1 da 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 da. Boom. And then the last thing I'm going to add is my item number 5 on here, which is Radiant Aura. So da 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 dun dun da da da. So now to make this one of those builds where it just always keeps going around and doing as much damage as it can off of 1 bar, here's the actual rotation. Now, blazing spear, aura, wall, puncturing sweep. I can't remember what that's called. And then 1, 2, 3 sweeps, and then back. So I'll call them out by numbers. And you can see the numbers below the items down there. As a matter of fact, actually I can just call them out by their names as I do them. Make it a lot easier on everybody. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Nope. Open up a different window I don't want. There we go. So, blazing spear, channeled focus, blockade of storms, puncturing sweep, radiant aura, puncturing sweep, puncturing sweep, puncturing sweep, blazing spear, channeled focus, blockade of storms, puncturing sweep, radiant aura, puncturing sweep, puncturing sweep, puncturing sweep, blazing spear, channeled focus, blockade of storms, puncturing sweep, radiant aura, puncturing sweep, puncturing sweep, puncturing sweep. That's the rotation. It's so easy. Now you saw it go down to 50 down there. You're going to see that as I'm actually fighting things, actually holds its own. There's a reason for that, and it's because how the different benefits work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4. And I will use another 4 there. Now I'm going to do a 3, 4, and a 5. Now, what I did at the end there is I did not go all the way back to the beginning. What I did instead was I went back to Blockade of Storms, Puncturing Sweep, Radiant Aura. You can do that if you're coming at the end of a fight and you just want to quickly get rid of something. But you want to be at the end of the fight because you will probably lose a little bit of magicka doing that. But as you can see, I held at my 100%. So let's see where I'm going here. Yep, I'm going the right way. I don't know why. I always have to check where I'm going. I just feel like I'm constantly lost. And I definitely am, because I'm not going anywhere here. Help! Alright. It insists that I go this way. There is nothing here, so the map lies. You'd think I'd never done this map, but yeah, actually I've done a lot. Alright, there it is. That's what I was missing. Okay, so we're going into here. This is a Watcher, has 117k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. And the one thing you want to do is you want to watch the animations on your character, because that will tell you if you're shifting over from one item to the next correctly. You want to be always hitting your light attacks in between. What I do is I just rapidly hit light attacks while I'm hitting the other buttons. So I'll hit 1 and I'm hitting light attacks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, and then back. And I lose no magicka that way. Okay. Now, I've had a couple people tell me that this guy up here just whooped him really bad. I only have 15k. I'm going to see if I can get past him. Now, I have not tried this build on this guy yet, so I don't know what to expect here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the fight even by getting rid of these guys with ultimate. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2. Whoop, he's hitting me hard, so I'm going to take and go right over to my 4, and I'm going to just spam away at this point. Now, what I had to do is I had to break out of my rotation, because as you saw, he was slamming down on my health bar. So, because I already had my channeled focus and my radiant aura up, I was able just to keep spamming punctured sweep, and knew it would come. Knew I would have enough to finish that fight, because he doesn't have many hit points. He hits pretty hard. And this is the other thing. This Olgana Soul Reaver. This one's a real punisher on this level, because what she will do is she will hold you up in the air and damage you really bad. So what we want to do is we want to stay above 75% on our health if we can, because if we can do that, then we might survive this encounter. So let's see how this goes. Alright. And we'll throw that down. And I already used my ultimate, so I can't use it right now. Again, just going through what I was telling you to do. There she goes. Now, you're going to see these 4 balls. And what she's going to do is she's going to hold you up in the air until those 4 balls all come back to her. You want to be ready to start spamming Puncturing Sweep as soon as all them balls come back in. I'm hitting it right now. And then as soon as you're back to health, then you want to start rolling around and doing your thing. There we go. And we're going to get thrown up in the air again. I'm watching my ultimate here. I'm at 93%. Here come the globes. And get ready with the puncturing sweeps. Puncturing sweeps now. Alright. And we're going to get thrown up in the air again. And we do have enough now to use our ultimate, though, again, we want to use a puncturing sweep when we get thrown on the ground here. Get ready. Here we go. There's the ultimate. And I got a full rotation in there before that. So I'm going to get all my magicka back while she holds me in the air. Or he. I don't know. I think it's a she. I'm not going to ask. Alright, here we go. Coming up. And spike. Oh, spike. Spike. Alright, there we go. And we're going to get thrown up in the air again. And this is all you have to do. You just have to repeat this and you will live through this. Yeah, I know many people that, and myself included, that got stuck in this dungeon just because of this character. Couldn't get anywhere because they just grabbed him up in the air and they couldn't do anything. They didn't have enough health. I remind you though, I have 15k health. And I could boost that at any time by eating food or you know, whatever have you, potion. So I don't have to be at 15k. I could be at 19k, I could be 20k. So, you know, this is not a weak build. I'm gimping the build purposefully just to show you the survivability on this. And we're down to 463k. We're getting there. And here come the globes. Again, the important thing is each round you want to stay above 75% health if you can for this particular character. Enemy, I guess I should say. The other thing you'll notice is I'm not using roll dodges. I'm not going to bother on this for this fight. There's no point. She gets you no matter what. 362. Getting there. See? I couldn't get away. She got me anyway. It looked like I was going to get away. It didn't happen. But I took another 150k off her. This is just one of those fights you just have to survive. And there we go. We have enough for our ultimate. So let's survive this round. There we go, ultimate. Oh, she grabbed me early that time. Not nice, not nice. No problem. So yeah, only 22k left of health. Gonna get a little bit back here from the globes, probably. Yep, 36. Just about toast. Done. Alright. So, definitely took longer for the kill on this build than it did my old build. But at the same point, it's a survival build. It is not a high damage build. It does pretty good. So, let's kill these guys. Uh-oh. See there, I had to go right to the puncturing sweep because I was watching my health bar go down. And again, 15k, I survived it. No problem. And I am not elite. I will repeat that till the day, probably the day I lie. I don't think I'll ever be elite at this game. Just because I don't have the time that a lot of other people have to put into it. But that's not my goal in life, is to be the best ESO player. My goal is to be good enough that I could do the things I want to do in this game, like play trials, play dungeons, you know. And the thing about this build is, while it's very much helpful that I am at the level I am because I get a lot of benefits from my champion points, it's still, I honestly believe that anybody could make this work as long as they're around level 50. I don't think that there's that big of a difference with the champion points. There's some, not as much as you might think. Someone that understands the mechanics of the game well and is good at playing it could make this work. Certainly in public dungeons, I will tell you that. Because public dungeons are easier than dungeons like this one. So in a public dungeon, yeah, at a level, say 50, yeah, you should be pretty powerful. Alright, so here are these guys. Losers. Oh yeah, didn't bite your friends, huh? Okay, no problem. We'll do a short run, 3, 4, 5, and they're gone. Okay. We're coming up towards the second boss. And the big reason I do these runs afterwards is I want to make sure that you're seeing that these builds are viable like they say they are. And it's not just a case of me trying to say, oh yeah, look how much damage I can do on this dummy here, you know. Yeah, dummies are not the same. Whoa, wasn't paying attention, I got killed. Dummies are not the same as the real thing. For one thing, if you get distracted with a dummy, you don't get killed. By the way, I got a free life back. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's be more mindful of death this time. Alright. Alright, throw down the ultimate. And we'll just bleed this guy dry. And just run around him in circles. And again, you can change up the order that you're using your attacks if you feel the necessity to do so. You know, certainly if you're just about to die, use a puncturing sweep. Don't think, oh, I can't do that because I have to do this build in order. No. Don't be a robot. Use your head and think about these things. I hate this guy. He just annoys the crap out of me. Die. Thank you. Alright, he's gone. And I didn't get rid of all of his friends, so I'll get rid of them now. You'll notice I also always grab anything they drop. I'm a big fan of selling everything after the battle. That way I can afford more and better gear. Okay. Go to the next boss. Now here again, found myself in trouble. So what I had to do Because I had to switch around. Never had that happen before. Let's see if I can take a shortcut here. That's a first. And it wasn't a pleasant one. Alright. I didn't lose any real pace here. Evidently there's somewhere you can fall here. I just missed it. We'll try to... Oh, yeah! Yeah, that was a stupid death. That one cost me. Like I said, I'm not elite. Alright, here we go. Get rid of him. Ta-da! Okay. Now here's going to be the funny thing. I'm going to fall and die somewhere there. So stupid. But yet I'll make it through this. You know, what can I say? Da-da-da-da-da. And again, wasn't watching my health. Remember, you have 15k on here, not 19 or 20. And I could buff up right now using a meal, but again, I'm trying to point out to you that you can make it through all the way on this build. And I didn't do banished cells. I did something that was a little tougher this time. Not too difficult, but again, tougher than banished cells. Because I already took this build through banished cells and it was easy. Alright, so there we go. And now we gotta walk through here and we meet another bad guy. Okay. Plenty of little fun there. Anticlimactic, actually, if you ask me. Yep. Up here's the next bad guy. Grothar! Yes! Alright, come on, Dopey. Get in the middle. Nope, you're not gonna. Okay. Throw down the ultimate. And all I really gotta do is worry about the fire. And I did not hit that roll on purpose. Just so you know. I'm still trying to be fair here and not using dodge rolls and stuff like that. I'm just playing this regular, like, casual. Can I dodge roll? Yes. Okay? Just so people know I could be doing it and I just choose not to. Now what I'm doing is I'm changing up my order every now and then here. Whenever I start to go down in health, again because I am so close down to the bottom of where I really want to be, I'm making sure that I go ahead and hit puncturing sweeps when I see myself starting to go down in damage, and I should be hitting a different button during the rotation. It's not a bad thing. You notice I am still keeping my magic going. I have not used a single heavy attack at all. Not one. Because I don't need to. This build, again, is self-maintenancing. And this guy's just about done. I could throw another ultimate on here, but what's the point? Got him. He's done. And let's go across here. What we're looking for is the last two bad guys. Not sure why they only put one bad guy there. That's so weird. Oh, he's got friends. I love that. And again, there really was no reason to go that way. I went the wrong way. I was supposed to go... Oh. Back. Back. This way. Yep. Okay. And they're all gone. Da 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 da. I think. Which way? Left or right? Left or right? Left, right. Straight. Okay. Take out these guys first, because they're already in a group. Done. Again, get them all in a group together. Circle around them, get rid of them. And that's where the big, well, you want to call them the big bad. Alright. Now this guy here, I don't know. Could use an ultimate on him, I just don't feel like it. He typically goes down pretty easy. And he's dead. Toast. Got it. Alright. So now we go through the rest of this. We have Iskra the Omen and the Mad Architect yet. I think we're doing good for time here. And of course, if you were in a dungeon with other people, this would go a lot quicker. But point being is, this build was to see if you could do it solo. That's what we're doing. And I have slipped down to Vampire level 2, I noticed. So, that of course means that I am taking a little bit more fire damage at the moment. So anything that's fiery is going to hurt. Yay. Again, just watch your health and you're fine. You don't spend the whole game jabberjawing like I have been. Again, you'll be fine. Alright. And again, watch my magicka. You saw it go down a little bit. It's already come right back up. It just comes back up so fast from this build. We'll go up this side because we know where they're already coming from. Oh, and I think there's more on the other side that come down too. Yeah, there is. Well, got a little bit of trouble here. I'm going to just stand right where I'm at. I'm not going to break free. See? Didn't even need to. And again, I'm at full magicka. Alright. Oh, the ancient one. Now, this guy... he's a little bit of a pain. Not much. Especially this build. We can keep our health going. We can keep beating him up. Sorry, down 360. He hasn't presented really any threat to us yet. I'm just going to go toe-to-toe with him. I'm going to mess with him. 'Cause he's about done. Like, nothing he's doing is doing anything to me at all. Yeah, he's just a big hit point sack. Alright. So now we'll come to... with the Omen. And I have to go up there to get to him. Gotta wait for these guys to come out though first. Okay, I don't think any come out the other side. So I think I'm good to go up now. Yep, nothing follow me. Alright. This Orisk is. By the way, this guy is a real pain on vet. He's not so bad at this level. For that, you get an ultimate. Happy birthday. 1.1 million and going down. Alright, again. Not blocking, just surviving. Also not running stupidly into things either, though. So I am doing a little bit more than the average person, maybe. I already have half of his health gone. Yep. And you see how fast I got my health back? No problem. He's going down pretty quick, so I don't even think I'm going to get to hit the ultimate on him again. That time I just stepped out of his circle. You're done. Again, I'm just going to hit him with all puncturing sweeps now because I know he's done for. There's no point in me trying to save magic at that point. Alright, so one enemy to go. The Mad Architect. And it's this door right here. Okay. I always hate this part. The last part they taught you not to fall or you die. This part, you have to fall. It just doesn't seem fair. Sploosh. Okay. You can hold me there, but that isn't going to do any good. You're still going to die. Okay. Ah, another watcher. On. Whoop. Accidentally switched weapons and didn't have one. And I still recovered. That's sad, actually. Really sad. Okay. So let's roll up the stairs. Hate this part. Because sometimes I don't make it. But there is life after stupidity, as you can see. And at the top here, we're going to find the Mad Architect. Which, this guy really, at least on the other build, isn't too bad. I don't think he's too bad here either. Did him with the ultimate earlier. He has some really crazy attacks, though, that he does. One he does is where you have to pretty much run away or you're going to die really quick. And then there's another one you have to pretty much jump on him or you're going to die really quick. You have to know which is which, but, you know, it's not that bad, actually. So we'll see if he does either of those attacks here. He should. Alright, here it is. Stay inside. And just kick the daylights out of him. That's the damage shield. If you're outside of that, you're probably dead. I say probably because there's some tank out there somewhere that can survive it. So, I'm not going to bother saying you can't. This is where area of effect really comes in nice. Because your area of effect dots are taking out the bad guys and at the same point damaging the boss. Again, you're not seeing me roll out. I don't need to. Now he's going to get ready. Oh, he's going to do this one again? Okay. I wish he would have done the other one. Would like to have shown that one to you. But it is what it is. Alright. One more rotation and we should pretty well have him down. Maybe not. No, he never did the other. So he's done. And at that point, we have finished. We exit and we get our reward for finishing us. So that's the build and that's the gameplay. And as you can see, very survivable. No food, no potions. So if you add those things, you would even do better. You would do more damage, have more survivability. I think I've extended this build as far as I can, but I might look into a little bit more. Next thing I'm looking into is what I can do with Magica Sorcerer. I'm looking to try to kind of create the same build with that. So, provided I am successful, I will be posting that next. So, at this point, I thank everyone for dropping in, looking at the video. And, you know, if you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit the subscribe button and make a request. I'll see if I can come up with it for you. All right. Thank you very much. And have yourself a great day and a great night.